Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today, grab your fanny packs, your trapper keepers, take notes, and, grab your Lisa Frank pins. It's all about pop culture because we've got Rad Janloo with Pop Culture Con on today. Stick around to the end. We've got a little bit of an announcement. Something I think it's pretty cool. We may be giving something away. You'll have to see. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Busy. It's just been busy, freaking busy. Weekend warriors.
We've been, just moving nonstop.
You know, I spent some time out in Canadian County, El Reno way, went out to the Center Theater to see a production of Four Old Broads. That was a lot of fun. Got invited out by those nice folks down there at ERCT.
I also got invited, but
Yes.
Unfortunately, I was on the other side of the state.
Well, I kind of feel like anymore, these Main Street communities are kind of sharing custody. We're splitting time with mom and dad.
To a degree, yeah. So you were at El Reno and you watched the show. Was it good? Did you?
Yeah, I laugh out loud. People were having a good time. Nice little setup, popcorn, soda, just the way you want it. Keep it simple. It was a lot of fun. And I got some pictures, and I did have a hamburger with a bun. I'm sorry. Okay, you don't drive all the way to El Reno because you're on keto. You know what I mean? El Reno, it rhymes with keto, but it doesn't belong.
I don't think that El Reno rhymes with keto.
If you think about
for
it,
starters,
keto, El Reno, keto.
No. And then secondly, you kind of just left that as like this question mark. Like driving to El Reno means that you have to eat bread. I think more importantly, what you're saying is if you go to Sid's for a burger,
you got to have the bread.
You got to have the bread.
The bread is like the rug in the Big Lebowski. It kind of ties the food together. I know I shouldn't do it. And I regretted every last bite of it. And maybe split part of a chocolate peanut butter shake. I had to. When in Rome, man, do as the Romans do. Well, you know how that ended, but it had lots of fun. It was a good time. How about you?
That's awesome. I was in Hulbert, Oklahoma.
Now, this was birthday boy weekend.
It was my birthday.
So
had a lot of fun. We had a small cabin on the lake there.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. But I think a crown jewel in the weekend was the coffee that I found in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
It's well documented that you are very much a coffee snob. I mean, I don't think there's any debates there. So I would love to hear this coffee story. So
we had made the horrible mistake of not bringing creamer with us to the cabin.
You are 3 deep in your refrigerator right now with heavy whipping cream.
Yes. We didn't really think about it. We figured, well, we'll just make a run to the local grocery store and pick up some essentials when we got there. And Hulbert is smaller than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, so there was not any heavy whipping cream to be found. So we woke up first thing in the morning and decided we had to go for coffee because the black coffee wasn't cutting it.
Gosh.
So we get out on the road, hit the nearest recognizable coffee location, which would be
7-Eleven,
Starbucks.
Oh, those guys.
We get down there, and it happens to be inside of the university. So we decided no.
Right.
We were just going to drive around until we found something. Pull right around the corner, and just sitting here in the cutest little building you ever saw. It's called Drip The Beverage Lab.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, okay, it says espresso right there. We're done. We're going in.
Gosh, okay.
So we get in. This place is awesome. And they have a full menu. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sold. It's a really neat place. I figured for sure it's got to be a chain. Yeah. Because they've got all this media, like posters and stuff hanging up. And I was like, I can't believe I've never heard of this, chain. And how did it get to Tahlequah? Order our food. Coffee comes. The coffee is amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Legitimately amazing. I would drive back right now, and it's only 3.5 hours from here.
Right.
For a cup of coffee. Start looking into it, talking to the owner or talking to the staff. Turns out it's local, just home brewed. And I was like, okay, I'm in love.
Wow.
But yeah, I had a great time. Really going along. We'll cover some of this stuff later on.
No, it's fine. But I mean, so your birthday, was it everything you expected?
Yeah, I'm old.
So basically you celebrated the 25th anniversary of your 21st birthday. Basically.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, good. Well, we've got some pop culture. We're going to relive both of our paths coming up with Rad Janloo Hangout.
So it is officially that time.
'Tis the season.
Tax season.
So all of your guilty purchases, your guilty conscious purchases are coming to roost now.
Yes, they are. Brett, you have a tax story to share.
I do have a tax story. I thought, hey, I hadn't, you're supposed to have your 1099s. Most companies provide those by no later than January 31st.
Correct.
So I hadn't received mine yet. So I just assumed, hey, I don't have to pay taxes. Maybe I didn't make enough money. Lo and behold, here it comes. I got my 1099. Now I'm scrambling to figure out how I'm going to get these taxes, DoorDashers, we just make money hand over fist. So for future reference and for any of our listeners, if you have a thought that maybe you don't have to file taxes, I would say that you should probably give Justin over at Holliday Tax Group a call. They have a free 30-minute consultation. Mm-hmm. You just call 405-730-3100. Holiday Tax Group is family and locally owned and operated since 2010. And another thing I think that's cool, most places, I don't see H&R Block doing this, but they offer military, educators, any teachers and military personnel always get 20% off. That's Holiday Tax Group. That's Holiday with 2 L's. So joining us today to tell us about his latest exploits is the master of horror, the prince of pop culture, the sultan of SWAT, the second busiest guy in Little Hollywood right here in Oklahoma. It's Rad Janloo. Rad, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate you guys.
You have grown so much since we first talked back in October. Man, recently, you did the Anthony Michael Hall Q&A thing. That was, I think you were shocked at how well that did. Tell us about that.
That was, you put the name out there every once in a while, and sometimes you get lucky. And Anthony Michael Hall found out about our pop culture convention coming up, and he wasn't able to attend for some reason. So he called me personally and asked if I would want to do some kind of a movie screening. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, it's not him, But anyways,
right.
He sent me the video drop, and it was definitely him, so I knew it was definitely a go. So it was kind of scary hosting an event like that, not ever seeing anything like that in Oklahoma City. I didn't know if anyone would turn out, so I was going to be embarrassed if we hosted the event and no one showed up. So thank you guys for coming out. That was awesome. He loved Oklahoma City so much, and he's coming back in July. So
well,
I can't really say much about that, but
what I can say is I had a great time. Just a super nice guy and a great experience. And again, I don't know how the 16 Candles went, but I had a super, super fun time with the Breakfast Club. It was just a great overall experience. And you really pulled it together.
Thank you. I had help. A friend of mine, Jack Tillery, he's actually his agent, helped me with that process. But without him, I don't know if that would have happened. So thank you, Jack. He's probably not listening, but anyway.
So, Rod, you have the Pop Culture Con coming up in March. Can you tell us what you have slated for that?
So we're basically throwing a show highlighting 80s, 90s, and 2000s pop culture. We're bringing about 15 celebrity guests, and we're going to have cosplay and so many other events going on throughout the weekend and throughout the week also. We're going to have some movie screenings with some of the celebrities that will be in town, and VIP parties after the first night, all kinds of things going on. It's going to be one of the funnest shows Oklahoma City has ever seen. I promise you that.
Well, I noticed
that's what I'm trying to do.
You're swinging for the fences. You've got some of the Slithering House is going to be there. I mean, some Power Rangers are going to be there. I mean, golly, man. When do you even have you had a time to just wrap your mind around exactly what it is that you're doing for Oklahoma? Honestly.
Well, that's flattering. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's kind of a compliment. You got to have balls to do things like this. And I gambled and went after it, and I could have failed miserably, but Oklahoma City took to it and they enjoy it. So thank you, Oklahoma City, for being such a great city, because we need cool things like that here.
Well, and I've been meaning to ask you, and you and I have kind of had some conversations on the side, but I'd love for you to kind of tell everybody what brought you from let's build a haunted house to let's bring something completely different. And I mean, like I said, you're really going all out. Where did this all come from, other than just being a kid from the 80s, a fan of all the things that are cool, and seeing a market for that?
Okay, so we had a haunted house that we opened in 2017, Nightfall Haunted Territory, like the plug, sorry.
Yeah.
We wanted to promote our haunted attractions. We were newer and we didn't have the traffic that other haunted houses had, so we wanted that. So I decided to host a horror convention, which we did back in July, and it took to a lot of people. I didn't realize it'd be that successful. People loved it. People actually loved seeing the celebrities that they could go meet and get autographs and whatnot. So when I was done with that, immediately I said, why don't we do this in the pop culture genre? Because I think it's a lot larger than horror. So that's why I went with this. And so far we've had good attention to the show. We'll find out next month if people like it or not.
Well, and the fact that, your horror convention did better than, again, you've said it before, you're doing better than expected. And I think it's also, you're feeling a kind of a niche that needs to be filled. There are conventions, there are things that kind of center around this type of thing here in Oklahoma. It's not like we live under a rock like most people in the country think, but it's so nice and refreshing to see something that's not only here, but it's really kind of I hate to use the word grassroots, and I may delete it and put in something cooler, but a kind of a grassroots movement that it's buy here, pay here. You know what I mean? It's Oklahoma.
Yes. I just feel that with just my friends in general, how much we love pop culture and all these cool events that we travel to Kansas City and Dallas. And why can't we have it here? I don't understand. I don't know why someone hasn't jumped on this earlier. I know Wizard World comes through every once in a while, but there's so many, I don't want to even get into that, but I want something here permanent that we don't have to drive, that we can bring the guests and the stars here, and the stars want to come here.
Right. You've got, and Dallas Fan Expo is another one that's coming up really quick. And, there's always kind of a pretty decent pilgrimage to the southwest parts of the state, like you'd mentioned with Texas Frightmare, Dallas Fan Expo, things like that. I hope, my hope and, prayer is that you guys can continue and it gets bigger and bigger and better and better and better. I can't say enough.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I mean, hell, I would love to be a tenth of their size. That'd be awesome. What's great about our shows, though? It's very intimate. We keep it a limited amount of celebrities. Therefore, they spend more time with the attendees that come through. It's a better experience for the attendees than when they go to a big show like that. That's what we experienced at the horror convention. Everybody had a great time, especially with the celebrities. They're just very interactive with their guests. And I like it, smaller show like we have, honestly. I don't mind growing, but I like the intimate setting that we have at our shows.
Speaking of the show size, where's this going to be held at?
Our show's going to be at the Sheraton Reed Conference Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. It is just north of Tinker Air Force Base. Really easy to access, right off Sooner Road and I-40.
It's super centrally located. Love it. Now, you said something about costumes. Are we having costume contest?
Yes, we are having a big cosplay contest, both for adults and children. So we encourage cosplayers to come out, show us your stuff. We're excited about that part of our show. Most of the Comic Cons here in the state, they do lots of cosplay. And even though we're not a Comic Con, we're so many genres with pop culture, and that falls under that. And we encourage that. So come out, please. Win costume.
So are you going to be cosplaying as an event organizer?
I'm gonna cosplay as the cleaning staff, because I'm pretty sure a lot of questions will be asked to me that day, and I'm just gonna be like, I don't know who that guy is. So
right, it's funny because
don't judge me.
Well, you were out there on the sidewalk at the Q&A, and you look like you're with the pop culture street team. I'm like, dude, hire somebody, get somebody. You're supposed to be in there smoozing with Anthony Michael Hall, but then what's funny, you end up going on a little. I don't want to be modest here. You went on a little Texas tour, did a little Texas two-step with Anthony Michael Hall there for a little bit, didn't you?
Yes, we went on tour. We took the tour down to Texas, which was very successful as well. It's just something we wanted to try new. You see these guests in convention settings only, so we decided to do something with movie screenings. and it works. And I mean, it's more intimate, just like, I talked about earlier, even in the movie screening setting, it's more intimate. If you went out and you got to meet them, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a lot more events like that. Thanks to you guys. Thank you, Brett. Thanks for coming out.
No, absolutely. So speaking of getting a hold of, like you were trying to sell people hardcore, you don't need to sell somebody something that they want already. So, but how do you get tickets for this? What are the ticket tiers? What can we expect? And how do we get them?
Thank you. If you go to OKCPopCon.com, right now we have discounted tickets up until the day of the show. A weekend pass is $20, Saturday pass is $15, and Sunday pass is $10 right now. And that will get you access to all the events going on, including the celebrity panels and all the games that we're going to be hosting and whatnot.
So you've got a $60 weekend VIP now. I know that you're having a kind of a VIP party.
Yes.
Are you only admitted into the VIP party with that ticket, or are there ways that you can you hand the doorman $100 to get in? What's the situation there?
Thank you for asking, because that was not smart of me for not including that. Our VIP package will include access to all of the panels, first access to panels, front of the line, swag bag with T-shirts, and yes, you'll have access to the parties and everything that we're doing that weekend. If you don't have a VIP pass, you're still going to be able to get into the VIP party, but it's like an hour or two after the VIPs are in there. So it's just a weird setup, but it's going to be fun.
Well, I'm just looking forward to holding Dustin Diamond's hair back if while he's throwing up in the bathroom. I'm not saying he will, but I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm most looking forward to Dustin Diamond, okay? I'm just going to say.
Well, that's good to hear. I like to hear that.
All right.
We need a celebrity handler for him. cough, excuse me.
Yeah, I may know a guy that doesn't have anything better to do. Cough, cough.
Yeah.
So you are now. You mentioned that in jest, but volunteers. Are you still taking volunteer applications to help out with the con? Are we closed off on that?
Yes, please. We are definitely accepting applications. Okay. We want as many volunteers as possible. The volunteer shifts will be split, so you can enjoy the show for half the day as well. You're not going to be working the whole time. I want everybody to have a good time, so that's why we're doing that. But okay. Yes, please, on OKCPopCon.com, we're still accepting applications for volunteers.
Okay, now, one final question, because sometimes those questionnaires you don't know if it's going into the universe or actually going into your inbox. What is the reply speed on those? What can we can you give us a little back office as to when we can expect replies on those applications and how that
for the
system?
Application.
Yes.
Yes. I will be replying as fast as possible. Now, we had a loophole that we had to get through to access that for some reason. It wasn't available, but now it's available, so I can get back to everyone as soon as possible. So apologize for that.
That's awesome. So again, for the best way for everybody to get a hold of you is OKCPopCon.com. All of the information is there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Or on Facebook, Oklahoma City Pop Culture Con on Facebook.
Well, Rod, we really appreciate you coming back on the show, and it sounds like a really fun event coming up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you. You could have had anybody. Why me?
Well, because we want the movers and shakers, and you're out there doing things that we like, and you're doing things that Oklahomans need. So, I mean, not to sound too corny, but man, I don't want to drive down 35 to go have fun. So, I appreciate what you're doing. Hope to have you back. Well, we hope to have you back on during Nightfall Con 2 and anything in the future. Sir. Most definitely. So, all right, Rod. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So, Rod is super cool guy.
He's a cool guy. I mean, I know we say that. There are two words that we say a lot.
Cool
and awesome. Yeah. And it almost feels like we're laying it on thick, but the guy is he's
salt
humble.
of the earth. He's
just humble pie. He really is. I'm really looking forward to the Pop Culture Con because, he reached out and said, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do to help? He offered to let us set up a table there. So I can't say enough about the guy. And I really like the idea of having more bigger and better every time you roll out, bringing something bigger and better. And it just draws more. You see you really see your fan base when you bring things like that to the table.
Well, and I just love the concept of keeping it local.
Yeah.
We talk about that sort of thing a lot, but we don't give ourselves enough credit as a state.
Right.
and therefore I feel like a lot of other places don't give us a lot of credit that we really deserve.
Imagine that.
So I'm super pumped on what Rod's doing. I really feel like he's bringing something new and unique to Oklahoma, and it needs to be celebrated.
Well, and he talked about having more movie screenings. They've kind of partnered together with the guys down at Rodeo Cinema. They're bringing A Bronx Tale in with Lilo Brancato, who's also going to be at the Pop Culture Con. I mean, it's just something constantly. He's always thinking of something new and something exciting, and I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. I think it's all those words that we say all the freaking time.
Well, if you want to be a part of something cool and awesome,
yeah,
we do have a little treat.
The treat
that you teased at the beginning of the show.
I did. I don't know if I did a very good job of it, but yes,
we are giving away tickets.
We are giving away tickets. We've made it to the big leagues. They're actually letting us give stuff away that doesn't belong to us personally. I think it's really exciting.
I do as well. So this is one of those times where you're going to want to keep an eye on Facebook.
Yes.
And Twitter.
You have to pay to play, but not pay to go. You get what we're saying? You gotta put in the work.
Absolutely.
So, but stay tuned. It's just around the corner, but you got to keep an eye on that Facebook page.
Right, and that Facebook page for the general populace would be
OnlyinOKShow at Facebook.com. No, I'm kidding.
OnlyinOKShow.com. Or on Facebook, it is OnlyinOKShow. Or on Twitter, it is OnlyinOKShow.
Or on newly revitalized and redesigned Instagram, OnlyinOKShow.
So if you notice a theme there,
right.
It might be intentional, but this has been the Only in OK Show. I'm Harley.
And I'm Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace.